This is a quick tip on how to stain clothing. And you can do it using the same character with the current clothing that they're wearing. It's very simple. You create two images. The first image is going to be of, we're going to stain the shirt, so I'm going to make a copy of the shirt. I'm going to render it out as an image. So it's very simple. Choose the character, hit the letter Y. When you come to it, you come to a channel. Whatever one you were in last is where it goes back. But choose your picker tool. We're going to stain the shirt, so we click on the shirt. Within here, you see a diffuse. Now this diffuse has no stain on it, but to apply a stain, launch it into your photo editor, and you'll see it comes in. Figure out where you want to put the stain. Do you want to put it on the back? Do you want to put it on the front, left, or right? Do you want to put it on the sleeve? Wherever you decide you want to put that stain, you have to decide based on the layout of the current pattern or using the UV. Now I'm not going to go into reading UVs which overlay this image, but this is the basics for staining a shirt. Take the diffuse that you launch and you're going to save that as Mason's shirt, for instance. I've already got this in here. The first thing you need to realize is you're going to be rendering a video. Now the video has got to be scaled to fit what you're going to be doing. So rescale your image to match the video that you're going to render out. If I go in here and I say image in this particular editor, hit image, resize, image size. Now the image that I'm going to render out is 1280 by 1024. It's a basic WMV video feed that's going to go into that diffuse channel. So I'll type in 1280 by 1024 and rescale it. Now I've already done this and saved it here. It's already been done. So I say image resize. It's already been done. It's 1280 by 1024. Okay. I saved it as Mason's shirt. When I take Mason's shirt and put it in my video editor, that's going to be frame 1, so to speak, of the video. Same thing applies for the stain. It's the same image. The only difference is you go in with a brush and you put a stain there, whatever you want it to be. Now if you want to lighten it up, you take your brush and do whatever you need to do to lighten up the item, darken it, put a ink stain that went on his pocket or whatever the case is. You can stain it. And you take black and you see it changes that stain. I can change it from a blood stain to an ink stain where his pen broke in his pocket. Okay. I'm not going to save this. I've already done it and I left it as a blood stain. So I'll take that off. That image has been saved. It was saved as Mason's shirt stain. Go into your video editor, whichever happens to be yours, and you're going to transition from this to this. And that's it. It's very simple, depending on your video editor. Now, I've already used mine, so I'm going to show you how I transitioned it. There's a brief pause until I switch. Now I go to my video editor. We're going into the video editor. We're going to take the two images that we saved, Mason's shirt and Mason's shirt stain. We're going to apply that to however your video editor edits it. I've got it on the second line, which is an overlay line, so I can scale it the way I want it, which is going to be 1280 by 1024. That's going to be the way the video is rendered. If you look, I've already got it scaled out in mine. There's a safe line for video. Ignore that. You're going to need the full size so that you don't get the black border around the edge, which will also stain the material on a shirt. So we've got the first image here, Mason's shirt, and you can extend that out as long as you like. You can drag it back. You can do whatever you like. And make it as short or as long as you need it to be for your transition period. I'm going to hit undo because I've already had mine set. Now this is the Mason shirt. It's going to transition into Mason's shirt stain. I put a limiter to stop it and a limiter to start it. So in my project, I hit rewind, and this is the end of it. Okay, this is the end of the project. So mine is going to go from solid white shirt to a stained image, and it just blurs in, and that's it. That's as far as mine goes. I could take it further like this, and you notice the stain gets darker and the shirt gets darker. But the shirt's already white as far as the material goes. You're not going to miss a whole lot of this gray. So I'm going to take this, and this is going to be my transition. Render it out in the video in the size that you set the images at, which should match the video that you're going to render it at. So I'm going to render this out as a video now to Mason's shirt stain, or whatever it happens to be, whatever you name your project. So I go up here and I say share, go to whatever format you're going to use. I'm going to use WMV. It's going to be 1280 by 1024, 30 frames per second. Okay, it's going to be Mason stain. We'll call this stain 06. It's up to me what I name it. It's up to you what you name it. I call it Mason stain 06. You're going to use it as a transition on the cloth. We'll save it to my desktop. That's it. Or I can press escape to abort that, and it just cancels here. And let's say I want to save it somewhere else. Let's say I want to save it to computer. Go to a videos for here. I've already got one, Mason stain using videos as a transition. I'm going to call it Mason stain in this directory and save it. Wherever you save your videos, it will be pulled in from that, and then you render it back out to wherever you want to keep all your video footage. Once it's rendered out and it's started, you can go ahead back into iClone. Choose the Diffuse channel for a shirt, which we launched as the photo editor and gave it a stain and exported 2 images from. Take the RL upper, in this case. If you can't find it, picker tool, pick on the shirt. Double click the Diffuse. Now, you're going to be looking for the video where you saved it. Here it is, Mason stain. So I open that up. When I open it, it now becomes the Diffuse channel for this character. If I choose this guy, open up the timeline, hit Object Related Track, hit Mason, and I look for what? The seam, visible, nope. I'm looking for video. Open up video. Now in the video, there is a video RL upper diffuse video. And here is the volume. Now if you want to turn the volume down, there is none, but you can just double click here and mute that video. It's not, and we just close that, hit F3 if you want to close the timeline or move that video where you want it to start playing. This is how you adjust your transition period. Now let's say we don't want it to show until the end of his talk. So we're going to come up here, and it's going to start staining from this point on, which is frame 1030 on. So if you keep your eye down here, you'll see at frame 1030 is what we're looking for. Okay, I've got his volume turned down. Go to 1030. When you see it show up here, you're going to see that video appear on his shirt as a stain.
It is all fairly simple. You do see it, right? So why turn this around? There is no need to make heads or tails out of it.
And there it is. Now, that's the end of, that's the second image. But put this video on the timeline where you want it to appear. Now, if you've seen your video, you should know how long it's going to take before that blood appears or stain or whatever it is. Put it on there, and you can have it appear at any point. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up a little bit so you can see it as it transitions over. And as it plays, you'll see when it plays and appears on his shirt.
Take it up with the users and the fans, as they are the ones
Should appear
that
right
know what they
about
need,
now.
and they are the reason that we do what we do.
And that's how you time it out. Simple, right? Your video editor, your photo editor, whatever you decide to use, that's how it's done. Cricky out.